Los Angeles, California, where the Mad Scientist Party Hour.
Oh, hello there, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Mad Scientist Party Hour. Believe it or not, this is Kevin Kraft, joined as always by a man who's wearing Prada from the waist up, but absolutely nothing from the waist down, and is proudly aiming his boner at everybody. That's Jeff Clark.
What's up, y'all?
And transmitting to us from the red carpet, the bearded booger-eating celebrity known as Shuddy Boy.
Yo, brah. I have to say that
Yo, you don't have
Jeff's
to.
intro could have been slightly better if you had just done Prada from the waist up, nada from the waist down.
Yeah,
Man,
well,
Shuddy's clicking on all cylinders today.
I suppose.
I mean, just that slight tweak would have taken it from an to a goddamn, that was clever.
Well, I'm glad you think it was clever, Shuddy. But you have ask me, I think it was a duddy. Nothing but rhyme
Anybody
jokes
who
today.
listens through to the Easter egg will know that Kevin and I have already gotten on each other's nerves
Yeah,
since we started recording, so things might be a little chippy.
yeah. Shuddy asked for something physically impossible and then acted like a little bitch when he got told no. But,
Well,
I mean,
off to a shaky start. We're going to rebound, though, fellas.
yeah,
Listen.
Shuddy admitted we did a test run of queef or no queef yesterday just to see how we could handle doing a short form show. And Shuddy admitted there that he has been very cunty since coming down with COVID.
The last few days I have absolutely been cranky pants. Today I am close to feeling 100%. I'd say I'm probably at 85. I'm still really congested in the nose. And well, not really congested because I can breathe through my nose again. But that has led to the discovery that I, in fact, have lost my sense of smell and have an extremely dulled sense of taste.
Oh, no.
Which I thought was just because I was so congested and snotty. So
Yeah, because I
that
feel
was
like
a fun discovery
we
today.
we just talked about that because
We did, but it must be memory smelling.
because I always thought that I mean, well, this is just me assuming with nothing else to go on, but I always just thought like if one of your symptoms is losing your sense of taste and smell, that's like one of the first things to happen. Not like suffering for almost a week and then out of nowhere you don't have smell anymore. That's
like again, the sense of smell thing, it would come and go.
Yeah.
But I was so stuffy and so congested that not being able to smell didn't seem strange.
Yeah, because I remember
Like, I
you were
still
saying your dogs kept farting, and you were like, "Oh, well, I can still smell that."
Yeah, I did. But again, that was early on. But then today, now that I can breathe in and out through my nostrils,
Yeah.
no sense of smell.
Is there any
None.
sort of test we could do right now that would irrefutably prove that? Like, can you poop
would
out
you
like
like
a
to
rabbit
run
turd?
through the tests that I did to confirm this?
Sure. How close did you put
More
your
than-
nose
more than anything.
to MJ's ass? Was it miles?
It was none of the dogs, or it was my own, technically.
Did you finger your ass and then give yourself a dirty Sanchez? Shuddy boy, you
I
freaky
didn't know we
bitch.
were turning this into a guessing game. So it started off innocent. Candles, the bottle of Coca-Cola. I was squeezing the air from the dish soap in like directly into my nostrils. So yes, I did go extreme and give myself a credit card And when there was no smell whatsoever, that's when I resigned myself to the fact that the sense of smell was gone.
I mean, did it ever occur to you, Shuddy, that maybe you just had a clean ass that day?
This was before I showered, though, today. So
Yeah,
the likelihood
unshowered
of
ass
that
crack.
being the scenario is improbable at best.
Have you taken a dump today?
Yes.
And you could not smell your own poopy?
No, but I usually don't during the act unless it's real foul.
Oh. Well, I mean, there you have it. Shuddy Boy admitting his shit doesn't stink. I guess, we should just clear up the 1% of any remaining confusion. Shuddy Boy and I tested positive for COVID.
Yep.
Which is
I
why
went to California to see John Cooper, and I brought back the wonderful souvenir of COVID, most probably the FLIRT strain.
I also, so yeah, we both got it. This is my third dance. This is Shuddy's second. He didn't test positive until Monday morning. And I was actually, I felt like dog shit, but I could have done a show. My voice did not sound this bad on Monday. Tuesday, it was absolutely fucking horrible. Yesterday, when we did Queef or No Queef on Patreon, my voice was better, but worse than it is now. So I'm hoping tomorrow I sound a little bit better. But I mean, this is, I guess, good enough to do a show. It is fucking uncomfortable talking like this.
It is hurting now to talk.
Yeah, I mean, my chest and my throat and my lungs are really sore from all the coughing that I've been doing. This is definitely the worst of the 3 times that I've danced with old COVID. The first couple times, I feel like if somebody in my orbit did not test positive, prompting me to test, I would not have known because it really wasn't bad at all. At worst, a couple, 2 days of achiness and being sleepy. But I tested positive on Saturday. It's now Thursday afternoon, and I'm still, the coughing mainly comes at night, but I can't fucking sleep. I'm waking myself up every hour, just coughing to the point where my throat hurts. Last night at 3 a.m., I was up coughing up fucking silly putty. It's nasty. This shit sucks. I've never had my voice be this thrashed for this long.
Yeah, I woke up Sunday feeling off. I wasn't feeling great Sunday morning, but I wasn't feeling sick enough to be concerned once the test came back, the COVID test came back negative. So then I went about my day Sunday, and Sunday night, went to bed. I had started to get congested, and the weather here when I got home was complete garbage. It was 49 and raining. It was complete shift from the California weather. So I convinced myself when I went to bed Sunday night that it was just a sinus infection from the change in weather conditions. Despite you having tested positive, that's what I was. And then during the night, Sunday night, I woke up every hour, alternating between sweating to death and freezing. Woke up Monday morning with a Shroud of Turin-like impression of myself in the bed from sweat. So I got up and you could see my body outline.
Didn't this happen to you the other time you got COVID too?
Sure did.
Crazy night sweats.
But that was one night of that the first time.
Yeah.
It was 3 nights this time.
Yeah, this one has fucking sucked. It's not I'm not bedridden, but the 2 or 3 days of achiness was fucking brutal. Stomach constantly
Monday,
nuts, crazy headaches.
Monday I could barely move. Started to feel a little bit better Monday evening, thinking I was turning the corner. I was like, okay, cool. We're gonna be out of this. Tuesday night, sweat through my clothes again. Felt like shit all day Tuesday. Then Tuesday night, I woke up, soaked hair, sweat through my clothes for a third night in a row, but then felt better the rest of the day yesterday and even better today. No fever. I haven't had a fever since the middle of the night Tuesday night, but I lost 6 pounds of water weight in 3 days.
That's good news.
Yeah.
It is good news. Like,
No
there's a
Ozempic for you.
perk.
Yeah, but yeah, that's why this episode is so late. I put a video up on Instagram explaining everything, and it's one of those things like, yeah, of course, the week a lot of people are anticipating where we have so much to talk about, so much big things to discuss. We get fucked over by COVID, and I also, just to tie this thread up nice and neatly, last week's episode, fucking stupid ass Kevin, oh yeah, Fall Guy, go see Fall Guy, they finally made an original movie. And the second we stopped recording, I saw a thing on IMDb that it was loosely based on a TV show in the 80s about Lee Majors being a stuntman who's a bounty hunter on the side. I'm like, motherfucker. And I was like, well, wait a second, that's not the plot of the movie. But then I saw the character name he plays, and it's the same name as Ryan Gosling's character, and I was like, oh, God, here come all the fucking internet. Well, actually, if you fucking...
Yeah, I got shit for not giving you shit.
Yeah.
So I got shit because I didn't say something when you said something incorrect.
Yeah, who know there were so many fucking
no
Lee Majors historians listening, but whatever. Oh, you got us.
I think it's awesome that I have such low expectations for me culturally, or cultural knowledge, pop culture knowledge, that no one gave me shit. Or if they did, I just didn't see it.
Yeah. I'm actually really disappointed when that Fall Guy conversation came up. Jeff didn't go, oh, does man throw ball? But yeah, we did have the premiere, the second coming of John Cooper. Whew, lots to discuss.
Jeff had something he would like to say before we move on, I believe.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because most of this episode will be talking about Shuddy's trip out here, obviously the second coming of John Cooper's premiere, but there's a good chance I lose 6 to 7 pounds of water weight tonight as well, because I am going to Carl's hot yoga class up in Brentwood tonight, and I am going to look like a fat, sweaty piece of shit in this class. I am a little nervous about it, but I'm excited, because I need to get back into yoga. I need to get back into working out.
You realize
Did you
that's going to be
know this,
intense.
Kevin?
I did. I mean,
Yeah.
I am dating Carl. I have an inside track on stuff like this, but
I told her not to fucking tell you. Jesus Christ.
well,
I'm just kidding.
hey, the vault, man, the vault. I mean, okay, so around the time when Carl and I first started dating, I know she's been into yoga for a million years, and we stayed up one night and we started drinking some wine and polished off more of it than we should, and she was like, I want to, because I told her that I was doing the DDP yoga. She's like, all right, well, I would like to see how you do with some of the yoga that I do. I'll put together a little thing for you. So I woke up the next day with a hangover, and I'm like, and then she's like, all right, you ready to do yoga? I'm like, oh, fuck no. I'd rather fucking put my dick in a blender than do yoga right now. But it was around the time we first started dating, so I was like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. Trying to impress her and shit.
Like the time you ate onions at dinner
Yeah.
with her or breakfast.
Yeah. She put me through the fucking ringer, man. And she was like, that was my beginner course. I'm like, beginner course? That fucking sucked. So she's doing an advanced class tonight, and it's hot yoga. So you're in a room with no ventilation, no windows, and the heat turned up to triple digits.
Yeah. And like your class with her, she insists that this is an all levels class.
I would suggest, Jeff, you bring like your phone in there and set an alarm to go off that sounds like a text message, and then just be like, "Oh no, little mama has to go to the emergency room," and then
Is
just book it.
is Brentwood anywhere near Studio City? Can you swing by Kevin's house and maybe get those rags that he has that's supposed to keep you cool?
I'm not going near that goddamn ground zero of COVID. Um, I
Yeah.
don't know how far it's in Brentwood. I'm not sure how far that is from Studio City. Maybe you would know, Kevin.
Uh,
Have you ever been to the core power that she's teaching at or that I'm going to tonight?
no. The
Uh,
the one time I did go to yoga class with her was in Culver City.
it was hot yoga though?
I think so. Yeah, and it was deeply fucking unpleasant.
The hot yoga thing, it sounds awful, and I really the the dude I'm training with at the boxing gym, every time I see him, keeps saying I need to get a sauna suit to work out in. And I am so resistant to that idea. Like
Oh,
they just got me to agree to wearing a long sleeve shirt while I'm there.
Well, next stage is turtleneck.
Fucking sauna suit, hot yoga. That all sounds awful.
Yeah.
yeah, that would, I mean, it just completely eviscerate water weight.
Yeah, Jeff.
So,
My only advice to you is try to build in an escape plan because it is going to suck. Like I don't
dude,
know,
I need to work out.
maybe even just like 20 minutes in, if like you're on the verge of passing out, just be like, "I shit my pants," and just run out of the room.
I mean, if it's so bad, I don't think I really need an escape plan. If they might just be like, hey, dude, get the fuck out of here. It looks like you're dying.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I mean, I anticipate it being actually a lot of fun. I miss yoga. Um, I don't know. So I'm excited for it. But let's get into Shuddy's weekend in LA and the premiere of the second coming of John Cooper.
Yeah, I mean, where do we even start?
Well, I landed in California at approximately noon
Oh, there you
on
go.
Tuesday, May 7th.
Yeah, I connected with you guys shortly thereafter. We ended up going to
So
Korean
that was,
barbecue.
yeah, I mean, so that was the fun thing, was because we were trying to get an answer from Jeff on when he was actually coming up. And he was a little evasive about committing to a time. And it turned out that it was because there was an accident outside of his apartment. But I feel like as soon as he was aware that we were making a Korean barbecue move, he found a way to get out of the house rapidly.
Yeah. Oh, fucking make way.
Like, it was like we were going back and forth, and it was kind of like, and then Kevin was like, we're trying to go to Korean barbecue at 5 o'clock, and then we get almost immediately a text from Jeff that was like, ETA 90 minutes. Like, all we had to do was dangle some fucking meat to get Jeff moving.
Yeah.
Uh
So we had a pretty big crew going to Korean barbecue, and a lot of my family came out. My grandma was here, stepdad, my mom, Shuddy, and then later on my sister and her husband came out. My family from San Diego came up. My aunt and cousin from Jersey came out. But this was like a crew of like I think 9 at the time. And my stepdad, when he was a teacher, his best friend who coached with him, I'm gonna leave names loosely just so people I guess can't figure it out and get me in any trouble. But this guy's daughter ended up becoming a massive heavy hitter in Hollywood. Massive, massive, massive. And around 20 years ago, she read my first screenplay. And the people that worked at the agency was at the time, they all read it. And I got this letter back telling me how funny it was, how much they liked the characters, and basically everything I wanted to hear. They're like, oh, this is like the perfect cross between Revenge of the Nerds and American Pie. And then it was like, some of those jokes went a little too far. Like, some of it was pretty gross. Like, but, keep writing. Great job. And I was like, ooh, I was kind of hoping it would be like, hey, great script. We want to help you sell it. Or this agent wants to rep you now. But it was like, that was awesome. Keep writing. So fast forward, just about 20 years later, my stepdad hasn't seen the dad in, a very, very, very long time, close to 2 decades. Find out he lives right around the corner from the Airbnb where my family is staying. So they were like, hey, why don't you guys come to Korean barbecue with us, the parents of this Hollywood heavy hitter. So they come out. The seating is a little sparsed out. Like, we're all on one side. It was me, Shuddy, Jeff, and this man's wife. And Jeff starts talking about the accident. And one thing you got to know about Jeff is there's no easing in period. It's not like getting into a cold pool where you're like, ooh, this is cool. I'm going to let my body warm up a little bit before I take another step down here and get up to my knees. Ooh, that was cold. It's just like cannonball in the fucking pool. Jeff at 100% from the get-go. He's talking. He's like,
here's my personality. Here it is.
Yeah. So this woman that Jeff has never met before, he's just like, oh yeah, so
none of us have never met before. Like, this isn't Nana. This isn't somebody that at least one of us has some sort of working relationship with for any of us to kind of latch on to.
Yeah, and they've already been given the whole spiel about how they're out here for the premiere of my movie, and they're gonna pass the link to the film so their daughter can watch it and maybe help out if she feels so inclined, or pass it on to somebody who might be able to help. And this, within 5 minutes of us sitting down, Jeff starts telling the story of the accident happening outside of his apartment, and he kicks it off by like, oh yeah, so I'm fucking sitting on the toilet taking a shit. And I'm just like, oh my God. I look across the table and her eyes were like, oh. And I'm just like, oh, there you go. That's Jeff.
I don't remember it that way, but I think I ended up winning her over.
Listen, she was a trooper for sure. She wanted to drink with us. Like, she was definitely, it was a moment of concern when that occurred, but it passed by relatively smoothly, and it did not seem like she's good at being fake. She might be the best person at being fake nice, but like, she was engaged in conversation with the three of us the whole dinner. And I feel like she had a good time and enjoyed being around us.
Oh, I agree. I just thought it was very funny that Jeff literally does not like give anybody time to warm up for him. He's just like, hey, nice to meet you. So I was taking a shit today.
I gotta be honest, I do that, and I behave like this when I'm around like my friends, because I'm just, more confident. I'm like, hey, if these guys like me, or if these people like me, the other people that are meeting me for the first time will also like me. And whenever I feel like I'm more hesitant or more reserved in my first impression, it usually doesn't go well. People don't like me very much, or just figure I'm kind of lame. At least that's my experience with like work situations.
Listen, when we sat down, my first thought was, this isn't going to go well. Like, now we have to really edit how we behave tonight. So you doing that almost immediately and it going okay and not causing any huge disturbance, like, made me settle down and be more comfortable. So,
and I
kudos
think
to you, Jeff.
I think that followed up with Jeff just immediately talking about taking a shit, and then us, like, within another 5 minutes of that, pounding shots and chugging beer. It was like, oh, okay, I understand what I signed up for. I understand. I get this whole vibe here. I know what I'm working with. And I agree, Shuddy. I do think the night went well.
And I think as soon as she found out that we watched cooking television, she was super engaged.
Oh yeah, broing down
Oh,
over
yeah.
the cooking reality shows was crucial.
Yeah. Gordon Ramsay just brings people together.
The great unifier, they call him.
Yeah.
But like,
But she gave me like Tony Soprano's mom's vibes in a good way. Not like Tony Soprano's mom is kind of a bitch in The Sopranos, but that lady was fucking cool.
I've never seen.
Yeah, she was super sweet.
Yeah, so we stuffed our faces with Korean barbecue. We were talking about going to get ice cream afterwards, and of course, my goofy ass mom and Nana, the most wonderful ice cream in the world you'll find in Los Angeles, be it between Jenny's and Salt and Straw. You're never usually far from one or the other or both. And they were like, can we get hot fudge and sprinkles? And I'm like, I don't think they have that. There's so much going on in the ice cream, you don't need to add any of that shit. I was like, oh, but they do have this like perfume you can spritz it with. It's like 50 cents, and you can spray what they call culinary perfume onto your ice cream and then eat it, prompting Jeff to channel his inner scientist and go like, oh, is that like some sort of gaseous milkshake? And I could not catch my breath. The correlation, it's like an SAT question. Culinary perfume is to gaseous milkshake. I was like, somebody needs to open up a store called that, Gaseous Milkshake.
I thought I did a pretty good job of explaining that.
Yeah. I mean, no notes. I fucking loved it.
Yeah, Nana was not impressed with Korean barbecue, unfortunately.
No. I felt like your entire family, I don't want to say didn't like it. They were definitely overwhelmed.
Yeah, which is why, we took over the ordering process. My mom has been to Korean barbecue. I'm pretty sure my stepdad has. My grandma, I could kind of tell. She had like a little bit of a thing going, because anywhere you go in LA is such a fucking ordeal. Like even just down the road, you're sitting in traffic. So like when she found out that we're going to a restaurant that was like a 45 minute drive, it was dead in the water.
Nana might have had the silent, most lethal venom of the week I was out there on the way to Korean barbecue when she said there wasn't a restaurant closer we could go to.
Yeah.
She was basically saying, so you're telling me there's nowhere within 40 minutes that we could have gone to instead? Like she was.
Yeah, she was not happy about that element of it. So there was nothing that could have been served that night that would have made her be like, yeah, that was good. But it was fine. The most thing she wants stories. She loves to be able to go back and tell people, stories of the things she did while in LA, and, going to Korean barbecue for the first time, and legit Korean barbecue in Koreatown, followed by her grandson's movie premiere, followed by a trip to Barton G. She had more than enough stories. So,
but never has her phone with her.
No, she does not like keeping her phone with her.
But then she says, I've always loved Nana, but I've never spent this much time with her. So I have a much deeper love for her. She said that none of her friends in Florida ever believe her stories. So I said that she should have her phone with her so she can take pictures and then show them. To which she basically said that she would rather have them not believe her than have to have her phone with her.
Yeah. Yeah, she was also, when it came time for everybody to pay and split the bills, she was complaining that nobody will let her have Venmo on her phone. And they were like, yeah, because you never have your phone. So how are you going to Venmo everybody if you don't have your phone? It's useless. But anyway, where does that take us to, Shuddy?
That takes us to your mom planting the salt and sauce. salt and straw seed in my brain after we ate a massive amount of Korean barbecue. For when we got back to the Airbnb, she's like, I'm going to go in and put sneakers on. And then within 35 seconds, she decided it was too cold.
Yeah, it dropped down
for
to
ice cream.
The frigid 60s.
So the three, me, you, and Jeff ended up walking to Salt and Straw.
Yeah.
Just a phenomenal decision.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how you guys had room. I did end up buckling, and I got a kid-size scoop just because I wanted to try something, but in no way, shape, or form was I hungry for it. Shuddy Boy goes fucking beast mode and orders an ice cream flight, which is 4 full scoops. Like, even at my hungriest, when I eat a double scoop, I feel like sick to my stomach afterwards. I'm like, oh my God, too much dairy and sugar. Shuddy Boy gets 4 fucking scoops, 4 different flavors.
I was on fucking vacation. It was probably it ended up being the only Salt and Straw trip.
That is true.
So I had to, I didn't want to not go full bore and regret not tasting at least 4 options.
Sure. And one of the options you got was fucking blue cheese and pear ice cream.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Salt and Straw.
Adventurous, to say the least.
They have some pretty crazy stuff. They have some really, really delicious, outrageous, surprising ice cream flavors. And then every now and then they crank out, because they have like monthly ones, they cycle in and out. Every now and then they'll get one that's like earwax and cum, and you're like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
You got like strawberry rhubarb, didn't you?
Yeah, it was fucking bomb.
Yeah, I was saying my uncle makes a really good strawberry rhubarb pie.
Yeah, but that ice cream, that was boner inducing.
And then
that takes us to the premiere, right?
That takes us to Wednesday, yeah. But I don't remember what we did on Wednesday.
I don't either.
Oh, you know what? We did forget that, as always, Kevin came through clutch and made sure my first meal in California was Mendocino Farms.
Oh, yeah. Shuddy's favorite.
So I did get a Mendo trip in.
Yeah. And then, so Wednesday, I don't remember what happened during the day, but we were getting ready and shit, and I, have gotten a little bit more voluptuous in my bosoms. So a week before the premiere, Carl and I made sure that like my suit still fit. Like I was worried that I would button up my shirt and the fucking buttons would be fighting back my fat. And it turned out that it didn't look bad. I didn't look as busty as I thought I would. The button seams were laying flat. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, this is great. So I put it back in the closet. This time I get ready. I can't get my fucking pants on. I'm so fat. I fatted through my pants to the point where my belly was hanging over it. I look like a creature in the fucking Mos Eisley Cantina. I'm built like a candy apple at this point. I got these tiny little...
That is mildly dramatic.
Either way, it was
mildly
shocking.
dramatic.
It was shocking at how much of a struggle it was to button my pants, to the point where I could not button them. And I had to hide the fact by tightly zipping up my belt so people could not see that my pants were unbuttoned.
It also didn't help that we were running late to leave for the dinner reservation at that point. So it was kind of at the stage of there's no way to fix this. Like it wasn't like an hour
chaos.
before. Like it was like 10 minutes before we had to walk out the door. Like there was no wiggle room for any kind of solution other than
the one
you came up with.
The worst time ever to find out, oh no, I'm too fat.
Yeah.
Like they were fitting me like a fucking sausage casing. Like I was like, we're going to get to dinner. I'm going to take a single sip of water and these pants are going to fucking burst off my body like a water balloon popping. But
dude, I had a pretty similar issue. I had to buy like a shirt specifically for your premiere So I went to the Nordstrom rack and was just fishing through the double XL options. And really the only double XL options that they had for the most part were like slim fit or athletic build, which is just epically fucking annoying. Like, how many people wearing double XL have an athletic build? You're talking about NFL linebackers. Like that's pretty much it. It's like pretty much people like Carl Weathers and fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger with a double XL athletic build. So that was a pain in the ass, but I ended up finding something, thank God. And now it just reminds me that I really need to kick ass in this yoga class tonight and just up my exercising. So I had a very similar issue as you, Kevin, but you look good in your suit.
Oh, thanks. The belt was doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Oh, for sure. My belt was holding on for dear life. It was like the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
But the train.
Yeah.
So my clothes fit me really well. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they fit even better now. So.
Yeah.
So we got dinner reservations like 2 blocks from the theater in Glendale, just so we could eat early, walk over there. We had the rental went from 6:30 to 9. So I knew people were going to be getting there early, and I wanted to get there early enough because I called up and I wanted to, I was like, I might as well flex these director muscles a little bit. I want to block off like one row so me and my family could all sit together. And I called the theater and I asked the manager, and he's like, I'm like, hey, is it possible? My film's premiering there tonight. Can I just get a row blocked off so me and all my family that flew out from the East Coast can sit together? And there was like this long pause. And then he was like, sure, you can block off a row when you get here. And I was like, yeah, dude, because that's exactly what I just asked, huh? It's like, all right, fuck me.
It's really evidence of what you said last episode about how when you try and get stuff, like everybody just flips you the middle finger. Like,
yeah, it really is. It's like, sure, you just paid a fortune to rent this theater out, but I couldn't possibly be bothered to take 45 seconds to block off a row of seats. So go fuck yourself, jerk off. So that was just like, well, shit, now I have to leave dinner even earlier so I can get there to block off a row of seats. And
it didn't help that on the way to dinner, you had the people who probably wanted to help you the most in the car with you. 2 of the people that wanted to help you the most in the car with you, peppering you with questions for like the first 60 seconds we were in the car.
It wouldn't have been that bad if those first 60 seconds in the car weren't followed by 48 hours of just endless needling. Like some of the questions I got asked while my family was in town, I was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, you had me and your mom doing it. Like, yeah, you okay? What can we do? How can we help, Kevin? Are you okay? Are you okay?
It wasn't even that. It was like, should I put socks on before I put my shoes on? It was like, no, shoes first, then socks. Like, what the fuck happened? Everybody forgot how to be an adult. I had to, like, literally we get in the car and we're already running late. And they're just like, what do you want to eat? Are you sure you want to eat that? Do you want to call ahead? And I was like, this is going to make me fucking die. You have got to stop. I was like, I'm officially hitting the snooze button on all questions for 15 minutes because this is fucking ridiculous. And
it was a tough 15 minutes.
Yeah, I looked over and I saw you just fucking trembling and sweating.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I got to ask Kevin if when we get there, should I open the door and climb out or open the window and climb out of that?
Yeah, God's punishing you for making such a mean joke about me just wanting to help you. But we went to Damon's in Glendale. I'll move this along, and it was dope. It was a cool old spot, which says it's from 1937. I didn't know Glendale had been around that long. Did you, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm familiar. I'm aware that Glendale and Pasadena are old towns.
Are they? So this place was like, it looked like it was really vintage inside, completely tiki. They had one of the island boats hanging from the ceiling. It was rad. And it was a big dinner. The waitress was really nice and really tried her best to move things along, but she was very chatty.
She was, but I
But
can
it was
forgive the
it was
chattiness
since,
for delaying things by how much of a fucking G she was. She was awesome.
yeah, like she was genuine, and
Yeah.
it just was her personality.
And what do
Like
we
she
have, Shuddy?
stopped
Do we have
us,
13 people?
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, and I told
Your
everybody,
aunt-
I was like, we have to, everybody look at the menu, and before you sit down at the table, know what you want to order, because we got to put the orders in right when we fucking get there. And that did not happen. The orders went in way later than I thought they would. And I was just like, ooh, this is going to be really fucking close. To the point where I did not get to finish my meal. I just had to get up and bounce. And Shuddy did too. Shuddy scarfed down the rest of his steak.
yeah. I scarfed down a steak, left my baked potato, but you got a salad. You were not planning on eating that much anyway, because you were nervous. But yeah, she stopped you and I on the way out trying to get to the theater
Yeah.
to wish you good luck.
Yeah, and I didn't want to interrupt her and be like, I thank you so much, but I'm running so late. So I was just like, yep, and that's so wonderful that your family came out. It really is. It's it's so good to see them all, and the fact that you made a movie and you saw it all the way through. I'm like, yeah, I have to get over there right now, please. But she was was an angel. She was so nice.
And
Oh no!
what happened,
Oh, God damn it!
Kevin?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, okay.
A molecule moved, so everything disconnected.
Oh, okay.
Which is probably going to make that fucking annoying buzz sound that we can't hear come back. Awesome.
Do we need to break so you
No.
can? Okay. And then we get to the theater. This is your show, Kevin. This is your movie. I don't want to.
Oh, well, what a wonderful tee up. So,
Well, I don't know. Like,
so yeah, we get there and there's already people waiting outside. And I'm, trying to say hello to everybody. We met up with Josh, aka his retired nickname Raw Dog. He was there.
that would have been. I felt like a shithead after finding that out. After saying hi to him and being like, "Yo, what's up, Raw Dog?" And then I asked you, I was like, he probably doesn't like being called that anymore, does he? And you're like, no, he doesn't.
No, I'm sure it didn't ruin his day.
Well,
But,
that's good.
We got there and, I'm talking over with the theater people and I go in and Shuddy helped out and blocked off that row so the family could all sit together. And then we're going out there and like more people are coming in and Shuddy Boy was, his eagerness to be the check-in guy was unmatched because they had a table set up with the whole premiere thing. I sent them over the guest list. I had printouts of it. They had an envelope full of printed out tickets for people to take. So Shuddy starts checking people in. People start coming in waves. My family showed up super late because that dinner must have taken a while to wrap up. And then as people are trickling in, I'm getting pulled in a million different directions. People are getting in line for popcorn and stuff. And this is a Wednesday night, and that theater is usually, not busy at this point on a Wednesday night. And we just had this place overrun. And I wanted to start the movie at 7, but there were so many people in line for concessions and stuff that it took forever to get people sitting down. Shuddy's checking people in. Then I peek out there, and him and my cousin are shotgunning each other with fucking joints, and Shuddy's within 2 feet of the entrance to the movie theater, just blowing weed smoke all over the place. I'm like, oh my God. This place is not going to be hosting us for the third coming of John Cooper. That's for damn sure.
The amount of people that came in to that movie theater for other movies that were playing at the time, I get the vibe that a Wednesday night is not a busy time for them because there were almost everybody who was not there for John Cooper complained about how long the concession line was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they were getting there at the time, probably the movie was about to start with a couple of spare minutes to get popcorn and a soda. And now there's a massive line snaking through the entire lobby. Yeah, they were not happy about that. I heard a lot of that's the line for popcorn.
Be like, yeah, it's a movie theater.
Should have showed up earlier.
Yeah. Sucks to be you. But it was funny because like my friends from the Friday lunches showed up. Who, I obviously I knew ahead of time we're coming, and my buddy, I don't even know if I've ever really talked about this too specifically on the show, but
You have not.
my buddy Brendan Small created the show Metalocalypse, and he's the front man for that band Death Clock, who is the focal point of Metalocalypse, and they just finished up a tour like a day before the premiere. So he got off tour and then just came straight to the premiere, which was super nice of him. And Shuddy goes to check him in. He's like, "Hey, Brendan." And he's like, Brendan. Oh my God. Shuddy did like the Tex Avery wolf eyes bugging out of his head. Lost all fucking forms of composure. Oh my God, Brendan. Oh!
I wish I could deny that, but that is pretty goddamn accurate to how it happened. It was like he goes, Brendan, and I'm going, Brendan. And then it registered. And I was like, oh, Brendan. And froze. And I was even prepared. I knew that he was coming, and I even had made a joke that I wasn't going to be affected by it. And then I was.
I mean,
embarrassingly.
You still tell people about the time you witnessed Kristen Bell picking up takeout from Mendocino Farms. So you meeting Brendan Small, I could see where that would be like, whoa, my God, I'm going to tell my grandkids. But yeah, so I'm talking to the theater, and they keep coming up to me. They're like, well, you got to get people moving in. We got to start this. So we get people in, and then like, I'm talking to our first AD, Will, about like, just making a quick speech before the movie starts. And the people from the theater keep coming up and they're like, so you're going to make that speech now? And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm just waiting for like 3 people to come back to their seats. It's like, one of the main actor's wife, we can't start the thing without her. Just like 2 more minutes. She's like, you're getting dangerously close to not starting on time. And I'm like, don't worry, we will get out of here. You will be able to show whatever is screening here after 9 o'clock.
Civil War, probably, because that's what screened before.
Yeah, man, that's a late movie to start at that time on a weekday. But I was like, hey, don't worry, we will be out of your hair, I promise. So everybody finally comes in. Awesome turnout. Had like a handful of people change their RSVPs last minute because they got like last minute gigs that they had to take. There were some notable people missing, some people from the cast, like Rob Corddry was shooting another movie, Doug Benson and Brian Posehn were on the road. Our second AD is shooting a movie in Arizona, so like all these people were scattered. But even at the end of the day for that, and it also sucks because if I knew that ahead of time, I could have maybe like opened it up to like a couple of Puminati and invited them to come out and see it. Because I honestly thought it was going to be packed, and my biggest nightmare would be overbooking it and then being like, all right, well, shit, who do I tell they can't come in? I can't deny somebody that fucking worked on the movie coming to the cast and crew premiere. So I did have to just be really careful with that. But fuck me. It ended up being where there were a handful of extra seats. I could have invited more people, invited a couple Puminati that are local. But, you live, you learn. But, I went up, made my speech. I was a little bit nervous making it. I didn't think I would be, after all this time of podcasting, radio, doing stand-up, like what the fuck do I have to worry about? You know, it's a friendly house. It's all people that I'm friends with, related to, or worked with on this movie. So not a hostile crowd at all. Still got the nerves a little bit. Still like stammered and through a couple parts of it, but landed the plane, sat down. I was in the center of the row, and to my left was Nana, and to my right was Carl. And I sit down. The movie starts. Carl reaches over and grabs my hand, holds it for 3 seconds before letting go and wiping her hand off on her dress. I was profusely sweating, disgustingly sweating. I without a doubt sweat through my suit. I was more nervous than I anticipated being, because it would have just been so embarrassing to have jokes land with a thud. And, you know, there's a lot of throwaway lines, which one of my buddies, my buddy Kay, told me afterwards. He was like, man, there were so many like big laughs, but then also so many just like throwaway laughs, which I love, that like they're not going to get like big reactions, but when you hear it in your head, you're like, oh, fuck yeah, I like that. And like, so I there were a lot of moments like that I knew weren't going to be just like big eruptions of laughter. But the parts where the jokes really swung for the fences, or like they got vulgar and dirty or gross, I was like, man, that's really embarrassing. If you swing that hard and you make this like big gross joke and it just lands with a thud, you're just like, oh God, why the fuck did I put that in the movie? What the fuck is wrong with me? But you've
got to.
Go ahead, Shuddy.
I was going to say, you got alerted a few times by your watch.
That's what I was just about to say. So I was white knuckle because Carl didn't want to hold my hand anymore because it was fucking disgusting. But like, I was gripping the armrest of the theater seats every time I knew one of those big jokes was coming, and I was in my head, I was like, oh God, please fucking land well. Please, please, please do well. And 3 times throughout the movie, my phone buzzed, and it was like, your heartbeat is unnormally high. Is everything okay? And I'm like, yes, fucking Apple Watch. I'm going through some shit right now. I don't need you fucking adding to it.
Mind your fucking business, Apple.
Yeah, you telling me that I have a high heart rate is making my heart rate higher. Do you not see this? But I think the movie went over well. I feel like it got a good reaction from the crowd.
I really enjoyed it, and like I said on Queef or No Queef yesterday, Jeff and I are really proud of you. That's one of the very first things we said to each other, was that it's amazing that you not. I don't want to say it like it sounds like that we thought you were incapable, but that for your first swing, for it to be,
I did. I actually did. Yeah,
to be this hysterical, and you know, from talking with you about it, from reading the screenplay, I knew what jokes, you know, were the swing for the fences one, and I think all of the jokes landed tremendously, even with it being a friendly crowd. Like it wasn't forced laughter to be nice. It was genuine laughter from everybody in the crowd.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I like it. I was crying and laughing my ass off while watching it.
I think I was in like a weird part because there were moments where I was like, all right, cool. That got a big laugh. That got a big laugh. I forget which joke it was, but something didn't get that big of a pop. And I was like, well, you can't win them all. Oh, well. But then somebody came up to me like after the premiere and they were like, man, that one joke was so fucking good. I'm like, really? I feel like that didn't get a big reaction. They're like, well, from where I was sitting, it was fucking like eardrum rupturing laughter on that one. I'm like, weird. That did not make it to me.
That might have been one of those times that your heart rate was so elevated, that your blood pressure was so high that your senses started to shut down.
Maybe, but I don't know. It felt good. You know, I have, you know, it was very, Oh God, now my brain is fucking running on fuse, so I'm like struggling to find words. But encouraging, the two of you guys, like I can sometimes tell when you guys are just humoring me or just like, let's just give Kevin the thumbs up so he doesn't fucking spiral.
Sympathy laughs.
Yeah. Like I genuinely felt like you guys enjoyed the movie. I talked to, the guys that I go to lunch with on Fridays who are, pretty well established in the industry. And the reaction that I got from them seemed just like overwhelmingly positive and genuine. And it was...
I mean, the one of them, we'll just call him Jerry Garcia, since that's what the family kept referring to him as after the premiere. I was standing there when he told you how he was so proud of you. He felt like a father watching his son succeed. Like,
I mean, we can say who that is. It's kind of a bummer that you led with the Jerry Garcia thing, but...
Oh, well, I was trying not to... I'm sorry.
I mean, if he listens to this episode, he's going to be able to figure out that he's Jerry Garcia. But yeah, my buddy Andy. Who's like the nicest fucking guy in the world, gave me so much guidance leading up to this. And, he is no slouch in the industry himself. He wrote Seven. He wrote The Killer. He works with Fincher very, very closely and frequently. And getting, that kind of praise from him, he's always been, ever since I started this, been so damn supportive. Him and my buddy Michael, who's also like a film producer. And Michael helped me get the first budget done and really pointed me in the right direction and was like the first domino to fall as far as like helping me build a team. And like just those guys and their words of encouragement was really helpful. And it's when you take a big swing like this, there's so much on the line. Like if you make a small little budget indie film as a first time filmmaker and it fucking crashes and burns, that could be it. It's not like 3 strikes and you're out. That's like, you do not have the chops. Get the fuck out of this industry. So it's nerve-wracking. There's a lot of self-doubt. There's like a big roller coaster. There are some days where I'm like, I'm really proud of this film. And then there's some days where I'm like, fuck, man, am I absolutely fucking crazy here? Like, it would waffle back and forth between excitement, like, man, I can't wait to show this movie to everybody. And then I would wake up the next day and be like, am I about to be fucking Tommy Wiseau screening The Room? Where like people are just like burying their hands in their face in embarrassment in the seats. And I'm just like, oh God, I want to vanish. But like the kind words from you guys, the kind words from them, like so much of the cast and crew came up to me afterwards and had such nice things to say. It made me pumped. It gave me a lot of confidence that we're going to find a home for this bad boy and people will be able to watch it soon. And, it is a fucking vulgar, dirty, R-rated comedy. That's not everybody's thing. Humor is incredibly subjective. So one thing somebody could find like the funniest thing in the world. Somebody could find it the dumbest thing in the world. But it's one of those things where, and I've said it before, like if this becomes, I know it's not going to be as big, but if this lands in like Grandma's Boy territory where it's clearly not winning any fucking Oscars, but it'll have like this little cult following of people that like it. And if they're partying or people are over smoking weed and like, let's just put on a fucking silly movie in the background. You throw this on and just laugh at some dirty jokes with your homies. Like that's what I wanted this to be. And I got the impression that that doesn't seem like too far-fetched of a pipe dream.
I don't think it is. I can't wait for everybody else to see it.
Yeah, same here, dude. I mean, you gave a pretty accurate description of and realistic goal of what Second Coming of John Cooper could be and hopefully will be.
Yeah. And, we are going to be shopping it around very, very soon. The trailer is done. The only thing we're waiting for is just like the most minor of tweaks on the poster, which was supposed to come in yesterday. And I think it's just so close to the finish line now that people are, I don't know, not as dialed in as they once were. So it's just like, I'm at the point now where I'm like, I have to constantly be fucking needling people on email and be like, all right, come on. You said we were going to get it 2 days ago. You got it yet? You got it? But I'm hoping by the end of the day today, the poster will be in. That's the last missing piece. We already have draft letters typed up. So there's a link to the trailer. There's a link to the movie. Here's the poster. Here's a little blurb. Here's bio on the director. Here's the synopsis. We're going to blast that out to people. A social media friendly version of the trailer is being cut right now, which I guess is kind of time consuming. I was told I should have that on Tuesday. So depending on what time it's delivered to me, the John Cooper trailer will go live either Tuesday or Wednesday.
What is going to make it social media friendly that the current version isn't?
The framing of it. So,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't necessarily understand why, because I have seen some trailers getting shared as early as this morning that are in widescreen format that people are watching on their phones, and a big upcoming movie that was viewed over like 2 million times or something. But I guess it's like, so when it shows on your phone, it like you can watch it in portrait mode, and the scenes will be like shifted to include the important bits, I guess. But that'll make it easy to share. The regular one will be uploaded to YouTube and stuff, and I'll make the poster available on social media around that time too, and then it's just a matter of seeing how long it takes for a printer to make some physical copies of the poster. And I'm going to look into what it takes to set up like a little Etsy store if people want to buy a poster, get them signed and all that stuff, and how much of a pain in the fucking dick it'll be to send 90% of them to Canada.
Your movie's gonna fucking crush in Canada.
Yeah.
You can get it up there.
Yeah. But it was a hell of an experience. It was probably the greatest night of my life.
Which we capped off at an accidental appearance at a Three's Company themed bar.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, and Jeff, Captain Peer Pressure, getting us to do some shots, and I'm just like, all right, fuck it, fine. How many times do you get to go to the after party for your first movie's premiere? I'll do a shot. And I don't know if this bar has ever heard of a shot before.
Yeah, they poured I ordered tequila, and they poured buckets of tequila as shots.
Yeah, if you ordered a pint of Guinness and a shot of whiskey, the 2 volumes are equal. It was a pint of fucking tequila.
Again, mildly dramatic, but they were so large that both you and I thought Jeff had pulled some sort of shenanigans.
Yeah.
And Jeff was just like, all I did was order shots. I just said shots of tequila. Like, they were like 4-ounce glasses filled to the brim.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty awesome, actually.
Listen, I hated it in the moment, but I had such a good time partying with you guys that it didn't have any ill effects.
No, and it was, for me personally, it was so hectic at that after party because, I was constantly talking to people from the cast and crew and family and Carl, and just trying to bounce around and be a social butterfly and not shine anybody, that I didn't even have time to drink anything. I think I had that fucking gigantic shot and maybe 2 beers. That was it. But I feel like
I got fucking blasted.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I feel like other people did not have the same issue I did.
No, I partied my dick off. It was a lot of fun. Spent a shit ton of money. But whatever, it was fucking
Yeah, it was
it.
very every time somebody wanted something, you're like, just put it on my tab.
Yeah. That was
you were very loose with your tab that night.
that was my form of pitching in on the investing in the movie.
For what it's worth, Jeff, I put my 2 beers on a different bill.
Oh man, I would have paid for them.
I was just trying to do some damage control.
I
LPI.
respect that. I appreciate that. But yeah, that was so much fun between the movie just kicking ass and being fucking hilarious. Getting a party with you guys and your family, Kevin, your friend or family and friends. That was fucking dope. Your family's super cool. So I had a blast.
Yeah, they're a bunch of jolly weirdos.
I did lose.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I would say I did lose a fucking bet to your cousin. With
You
the
got
dumbass degenerate gambler that I am.
I watched you get hustled. That was fantastic.
For sure.
That was fantastic. Like you gave your answer and she's like, "Oh, you really think so?" And you're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "How confident are you?" You're like, "Really confident." So she knew before the bet even went in place that you had the wrong answer, and you just fucking bit and then ended up having to buy drinks.
Fucking rope-a-doped.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. It's kind of crazy that your cousin's as big of a comic book nerd as you are. I was kind of thrown off on
Yeah,
that.
did you forget how big she is in the cosplay community?
I didn't know anything like that. I wasn't sure. I mean, she told me afterwards, after she hustled me.
What was the bet that you got hustled on?
On Havoc's relation to Cyclops.
It was Cable. Yeah,
relationship to Havoc.
Yeah. Well, we got talking about. She asked me about like Comic-Con and stuff like that, and asked if I would go to Comic-Con with you, and I was like, "Nah, fucking comics are gay. I'm not. I'm not into that." And I had no idea she does cosplay or she's into comics. So then I don't know. She asked me like, "Really, you don't like anything?" I was like, "Well, X-Men," and then we started talking about X-Men '97, and I tried to keep up with the conversation, impress everyone, and say, "Oh, well, Havoc and Cable, they're cousins." And she's like, "Oh, really?" It's like, well, yeah. And then she's like, "Well, I don't think that they are." I was like, "What? They definitely are." I remember my dad telling me this when he was into comics growing up. She's like, "You want to bet on it?" And I was like, "Sure, yeah." And then we find out that I think Havoc is Cable's uncle.
Yeah.
So,
Then she looks at me and she's like, "Shuddy, do you want to give him the answer?" I was like, "Yeah, Havoc is his uncle." Because Havoc is Cyclops' brother and Cable is Cyclops' son. So
thought I had her. Thought I was going to win $50 to put towards my fucking lengthy or expensive bar tab, but nope.
Yeah,
it was $100 swing, basically.
Pretty much. But it's all good. Live and you learn. Havoc. Related to Cable, not cousins.
Yeah.
But that bar was fucking sick. I was impressed with the service and just a lot of fun.
That was a last minute find too. It just looked like it might be possibly big enough for a large crew to roll in, and the place ended up being fucking massive.
Yeah, did you find that place, Shuddy?
I did. And all I did was Google bars nearby and look at the Google images. And that one seemed to be the largest in the immediate vicinity.
That was a good find. And it was super close to the theater. And Carl,
around the corner.
Carl found Damon's, that steakhouse that was right there. So you guys came in clutch.
And it seemed to be reasonably priced.
Yeah, right, Jeff?
Yeah. I thought the damage was going to be worse.
Well, that's good. But yeah.
And then Thursday, Jeff left for fucking Virginia.
Yep.
I dodged COVID, though.
You did. But you also dodged a trip to the Getty Museum, Jeff, where we found one of your relatives. Let me see.
You do have share permission, Kevin, but that was the day that your family really reminded me of my family growing up.
All right, Jeff, do you want to see yourself?
I'm a little confused, but that does kind of look like me, huh? Yeah. That guy's probably got a hammer dick, huh?
Oh, how doth art thou, pussies?
But what the Kevin, we also found Kevin's relative there, so bear with me while I pull up that
Oh, yeah.
photo.
Oh yeah.
Show me that.
Let's get a gander at this fucking warlord. Wait, Shuddy, are you telling me there's not just like a single button you can hit that will transfer whatever you're trying to show us to the screen?
I wasn't prepared for this, or I would have had it preloaded.
Oh yeah, what a couple of handsome bastards right there. Look at that bust. That has to be a bust because the rest of it is just penis. It's like a fucking penis mermaid.
That was a fun run through the Getty, though. We did that at like hyperspeed.
Yeah. So, the other thing you missed, Jeff, was the visit to Barton G, which I mentioned a while back because I took my mom there once. Excuse me. For those unfamiliar, Barton G is a restaurant in Beverly Hills that the waiter, or I guess the server that seated us, put it best, the best way I've heard it described. It's a parade of food. It is all showmanship and gimmicks, which fits perfectly with my basic bitch ass. And we had a party of 9, got a massive table, and things started off with the drinks, which were served in very elaborate manners. Usually just some gigantic serving tray with a bunch of crazy shit on it, and then they put your drink on it. And they're all like fucking $30. It was ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Oh yeah, there's Shuddy got a drink called the Sabrina Teeny. That's a chocolate monkey hanging off the rim of the glass, Jeff. Edible chocolate monkey. A frozen, that pop laying across the top of the martini glass is like frozen vodka. So there's already booze in the cocktail.
Might have been frozen champagne. There's Kevin's.
It's a frozen vodka dick.
Yeah, a frozen vodka dick that you can either dildo your ass with or stir your drink with to enjoy extra alcohol.
Carl's
sangria, which was delicious. Man, I fuck with sangria. But they did this whole thing. There's like a little man, a little French man made out of pipes, and he's holding like an upside down wine bottle with the ass cut off of it. So they basically just pour it in that open wine bottle, and then it goes through the little man made out of metal valves and pours into a glass. And that's how you get your sangria. Very just unnecessary, but like I said, I appreciate the fuck out of a gimmick, so I was happy. And that I did try that sangria, and it was fucking delicious. And then
is inducing?
Sure. There's a little bit of dribble coming out.
Pre-cum?
Yeah. And we wanted to get a few appetizers for the table, so we got the lobster Pop-Tarts, which come served in a giant retro-style toaster. Oh, yeah, there you go. Shuddy's got the screen share.
I literally was such a tourist and took pictures of all of these.
I mean, you can't go to Barton G without taking pictures of the food. That's the whole fucking point.
And we got the ribs too, which were fucking delightful.
Yeah, that's like spiced honey being poured onto it in that photo, Jeff.
Oh yeah, the toaster's not edible, right?
No.
But just before we ordered appetizers, food got brought to a table next to us. And everybody was like, oh my God, what's that? And it ended up being tempura onion rings, which Carl got very excited about and made the comment that she's basically usually not allowed to eat onions. So I ordered
Which is
us tempura onion rings for the table because
not
Kevin is so
allowed
mean
is
to
the
her.
most preposterous thing you could say. Not
You
allowed.
ban her from eating onions?
No.
Yep. Poor girl loves onion rings and he will not let her eat them.
No. What happens is she loves onion rings, but she can't eat a whole thing by herself, and I hate onions, so she doesn't order onion rings with me because she doesn't want to get full up on them eating the whole serving. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Like I can tell Carl what to do on it in anything.
But yeah, it's presentation. There's my seafood risotto.
Served in a big fucking robot fish mouth.
Risotto.
You've burnt your fish face risotto.
Kevin's lasagna.
Yeah, served in like
How was
some weird fucking oak barrel or some shit. Look at that.
With wine bottles up top. What were you going to ask, Jeff?
I say, how was the food itself? Did it taste good?
The presentation is better. I will
Okay.
say, my lasagna was fucking bomb.
The seafood risotto was good, but I don't think Gordon Ramsay would have been that hype on it.
Yeah.
Joe B would have been pissed, huh?
Yeah, Joe B definitely would have been upset. The lobster mac looked really good.
Yeah, but that came out ice cold, which was a huge bummer.
It came out cold, but then we got to the desserts.
Yeah, that is the carnival, Jeff, which has red velvet funnel cake, deep fried battered Oreos and Snickers, and ice
So
cream
like
and dipping sauces. What, Jeff? Oh no, I'm
it's
frozen.
like a dessert sample platter?
Yeah, like a carnival fried treat platter. Nope. You didn't hear Jeff, Kevin?
Oh no, all the audio just caught up to me.
Okay. Jeff, are you still alive?
I am. I was just waiting for Kevin to sort his shit out.
Okay.
Waiting for me to buffer.
And then we got this one, the dollar bill, y'all.
So it's a gold bar made out of chocolate that they melt with a blowtorch, and there's graham crackers, chocolate, pie, and marshmallow underneath. So it's basically a big melted s'more. Oh, do you have the whole incident here on film, Shuddy?
Yeah, I didn't stop recording.
All right, so watch this, Jeff.
Oh no! Oh no! Who dropped that? Was that the waiter or the
No,
waitress?
Kevin.
Well, no. So what happened was they put a fucking sparkler in it, which is dumb. That is a dumb gimmick. Because all it does is it just shoots that, like, you know, fried sparkly metal particles onto the food, which is unnecessary. Sparklers are so unimpressive that who fucking cares? Just lose that element, I would say. But then they put it in a thing that they melt with a fucking blowtorch. So, of course, the base that it's stuck in gets all droopy and it, like, tipped over and the waiter wasn't going to do anything. So I'm just like, all right, well, I guess I have to grab this thing to prevent it from, you know, causing further chaos. And the goddamn stem of it was, like, white hot. So it burnt me. And then I was like, ay. I drop it. It lands back into the fucking gold bar dessert. Like, lit end first. So the lit end is just in the dessert, cooking it.
That bothered Kevin so much. He basically considered half of that gold bar inedible.
Not half. I was just going to get a knife and cut, you know, like a loaf of bread, just cut that slice out. Because I don't know. I'm sure. I'm sure I am a biatch. But Jeff, would you take a bite out of a candy bar that the lit end of a sparkler was just hanging out in?
Well, I mean, I would probably work my way to that end by eating the unburnt end or the cleaner end first. But yeah, I probably would for sure, depending on how good that candy bar was.
I mean, that dessert was fucking delicious. But it was
And I
also
ate the end that the sparkler fell on, and there was no indication that it had been burned by sparkler. There was nothing to indicate that it tasted any differently than it should.
it didn't taste charred or metallic or anything.
Nope.
But yeah, then the wait staff saw what happened and they rushed over and they're bringing me like fucking ice cubes and wet napkins and shit. And Shuddy's just sitting there fucking laughing at me.
Yeah, because I literally couldn't understand, because it looked like I picked the sparkler up at exactly the same spot that Kevin did, and it was not hot. But Kevin was legitimately burned. Like, they had to bring him like ice cubes for his fingertips.
Yeah, there was like already a blister from where I touched it. Like, what the hell? Why isn't anybody else's finger doing this? But yeah, couldn't have just. I knew there couldn't be a calamity-free version of that night, so I was just like, all right, whatever, that's fine. And I also was kind of hoping, like, oh shit, maybe since we fucking left a lit firework in this dessert and someone got burned, maybe we should show a little mercy on the bill. Nah, no mercy. Kill shot. That bill came out and it was a fucking Mortal Kombat fatality.
It was rough for sure.
Roasted. So you dodged 2 bullets: a massive dinner bill and COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard it was a 4-figure dinner bill.
Yeah.
So that would have I would have really needed to win some bets to cover all that spending that I did if I were to go to that movie between the bar tab and Barton G. You guys are some.
You'd have to swear off a month of all comic book related gambling bets.
Yeah. No more gambling on the lineage of X-Men.
Yeah.
Thought I had it though. What can I say?
Damn. But you're in the clear, huh, Jeff?
Yeah, dude. I feel fine. No.
Man, I seriously can't. I'm very surprised at how long this is dragging on. For I've already gotten COVID twice. For round 3 to be this shitty. This fucking flirt variant can go suck a duck. This shit stinks.
This
is your first time with COVID, right? That's what you're saying, Shuddy?
No, this is my second. But the first one was it was one day of feeling like shit, and then I was on the mend.
Yeah, I can't even remember how many times I got it. I think it was. I only remember the worst case of it, which was Christmas Eve 2020, and I felt like I got hit by a fucking bus, and it was just complete hell for one day. But I feel like the next day I was good. For the most part.
I kept the COVID test because like I said, I had it once before. Draven's had it. A couple of the other kids have had it. I have never seen the test line so dark compared to the control line.
Oh yeah,
it was like, yeah, motherfucker, you have this. It
came out 3D, like in Back to the Future 2, when the Jaws shark jumps out at you.
Yeah, like the control. I'm not shitting you. The control line is like a nice even pink, and the test line is like a deep maroon. Like it's. I'll send you a picture between episodes.
That happened to me once. I very notoriously, the first time I got COVID was at my dad's funeral, which is probably the most on-brand thing that's ever happened to me. And then the second time, fuck. The second time, I can't tell because I think they were both so close together. I either got it from the first night I ever did stand-up, or at a Municipal Waste concert.
I'm going to go with the Municipal Waste concert.
So I woke
safer bet.
I woke up one day, and this is when I was still with the Ella show, and I felt a little under the weather, and I was like, I'll just be on the safe side and take the test. And the line the positive line was so faint, I could only see it with the flashlight on my phone. And I was like, they say any sort of line, that's positive. So I was like, guys, I can't come in today. I got COVID. The next day I took a test because I was like, I wonder if that was a fluke. It was so faint. Literally, as I was putting the drops in the test, that line was like, the positive line was like, oh my God, it's fucking blinding me.
That's exactly what happened with this. As soon as the liquid got to that point, there was a dark red line. Like it was, I had to wait 30 seconds, not 15 minutes, to know where I was.
Oh, I'm fucking dying, fellas. Oh, this sucks.
Dude, I can't believe you're still going through it like that.
I know. This is fucking ridiculous. What the hell, ref?
Well, at least you're battling and giving out we're doing a podcast through it.
Trying
to
to.
Get the heart of a champion.
Had enough people hitting me up saying I was faking it. Well, I don't know. Well, how was your trip to Virginia, Jeff?
I mean, it was pretty good. Kind of uneventful. My mom and I and her boyfriend do the exact same shit, which is smoke pot and watch sports. So that was a majority of it. I did go to Top Golf and shanked a whole bunch of shots. Embarrassingly, I fucking suck at golf. I think good thing I only play mini golf, or I would do Top Golf again, but I sucked. So that was pretty annoying. Otherwise, though, it was
crappy Gilmore.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Crappy Gilmore. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty uneventful. I bought these fudge rounds, which is a little Debbie snack that I fucking love. And my mom's dog hopped on the counter when we were gone at dinner, hopped on the counter, ripped him down, and ate all the fudge rounds. This dog is a fucking menace.
Is this the one that's the size of a bear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Watching that Twitter thread happen I loved it. One tweet, Jeff, I'm thinking about lining my suitcases with fudge rounds to smuggle back to California. Then the next tweet, this motherfucker Kobe is dead to me. And it's just a picture of the fudge round box eviscerated. And the tweet's like, motherfucker doesn't even have an adverse reaction to chocolate, so he has no consequences.
No, we got these chocolate covered pralines maybe, or pecan caramel clusters. Maybe not. I don't think they're pralines. Pecan caramel clusters. And he ate all of those the night before. And I mean, this dog he's just not allergic to chocolate. I'm not even sure if is that accurate for all dogs? It doesn't appear to be so, because my brother's.
So the way I understand it is that chocolate is toxic to dogs, but dark chocolate specifically, the lighter the chocolate, the less dangerous it is.
Oh, and if it's coming from Little Debbie, it's probably the fakest chocolate in the world. And
the larger the dog, the more chocolate it would take. It's normally it'll give them an upset belly. For chocolate to be toxic, I believe it has to be a large amount. You wouldn't want little mama eating a couple of pounds of dark chocolate. But if she ate a chocolate Hershey's bar, she'd probably just have the shits.
You know those big ass Trader Joe's 1 pound chocolate bars? I guess he ate one of those around Christmas.
Oh.
And yeah, he's completely fine. This fucking massive dog. If little mama ate a box of fudge rounds, her heart would explode. It'd be the end of her.
Yeah.
She wouldn't do that. She's a good girl.
Man.
So you guys really don't have Lil Debbie in California?
We do, but we just don't have the same like variety of Little Debbie options. Like we don't have the peanut butter chocolate bars. We don't have the Star
Uh,
Crunches.
you mean nutty bars? Refer to them by their fucking right name.
No, there's nutty bars and then there's peanut chocolate bars. They're two
What?
different things. Yeah. You're talking about the nutty bars are chocolate covered wafers with peanut butter in there. Yeah. These are chocolate
Just
bars
been
with peanut
jacked.
butter in there.
Fucking pussy.
Are you
No,
talking about the
those-
peanut butter crunch bars?
I think so, yeah.
I've never seen those in my life. We don't even have those up here. I've never seen those. Those look fucking amazing.
I didn't go to one of these, but they have them in Virginia. I was surprised. A Wawa. I should have made it a point to go there, just to check that off the old bucket list, but maybe next time I go to Virginia, I'll check it out.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely should.
I was
Wawas are
interested in their
excellent.
milkshake selection. But
I'm interested
it was cool.
in
Whatever.
hot dogs of different nations.
My mom's house is nice. It was fun. It was fun just hanging out, watching sports, kicking it.
Nice change of pace.
Yeah, I did the exact same thing I would in Long Beach in Virginia.
Yeah. You're like, oh, you know what? I need a little different tempo in life. I'm gonna fly across the country and eat snacks and smoke weed and watch sports.
I'm a simple person, dude. What can I say? I'm a simple person.
Oh, simple Jeff. Just picturing you. Yes, in that poster on fucking
The Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder, Jeff in fucking overalls chasing a fucking butterfly with a mallet. It's simple Jeff. Ow, wow.
Good, you deserve that.
Oh,
Thank you for laughing so hard.
God damn it.
That Jeff with Down syndrome. Not cool.
Hey, Simple Jack, he didn't have Down syndrome. Oh, God, I got a fucking headache. All right, well, maybe we should end things here because we still have to go over and do Patreon land, and my voice is not feeling that great. But the show must go on. So, sorry we had to do the show a little late this week. Hopefully, when we do a show again in a fucking couple days, my voice sounds better.
Hopefully, we have stuff to talk about in the next 3 days. That's the real danger of recording this late in the week.
Yeah, Jeff, can you like purposefully shit your pants in yoga tonight so we can talk about something on Monday?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Nice.
I'm sure yoga will be eventful for me. I'll have some sort of story to tell, whether it's losing 20 pounds of water weight in front of your girlfriend and however many people. But
I can tell you this.
sure, we'll cook up something.
It's prepare yourself. It is going to be rough. It's going to be a tough one. But thank you everybody for listening. If you need more MSPH in your life, please check out patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. We are also just a few weeks out from ramping up for yet another season of Crafter Jeff Shuddy Edition, which always seems to be a massive hit amongst the subscribers. So if you want to get in, now's the time. Subscribe, patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. You can also follow us on Instagram. I'm at Kevin Kraft.
At Shuddy Boy.
Jeff for Records.
And at MSPH Podcast and at John Cooper Movie. Follow those both. Then you can get a up-to-the-minute notice of when the trailer for the second coming of John Cooper is coming out. What else? What else? If you would like to see this, if you want to see the version of Jeff we found in the Getty, if you want to see the video of me burning my hand on a fucking sparkler, on a melted gold bar dessert, youtube.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. Also, still powering through with Movie Night with Kevin, patreon.com/Movie Night with Kevin. Most recent episode was The Monster Squad, one of my all-time favorites. My new 4K copy also came with the Wolfman's Got Nards documentary, so I watched that, watched it with a commentary, all the deleted scenes, all the bonus features, and boiled it down into 1 hour of everything you ever wanted to know about Monster Squad. And I would say odds are you're listening to this on Friday, so that means the episode coming out this week is on David Cronenberg's The Fly with Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis. Another 5-dicker. Great film. So check it out.
You spoil something for me? Any Jeff C. Tit?
In The Fly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jeff Goldblum gets bummed out because Gina Davis doesn't want to be around his crazy ass when he starts transforming, so he goes to a bar, breaks some guy's arm while arm wrestling, and then it's like, you're my prize, you're coming home with me. Grabs this chick, takes her home, they go to the Bone Zone, and I think at that point, Jeff C. Tit.
Beautiful.
There you go.
I'm going to have to watch that movie.
And check out Outkick Bets with Jeff Clark.
Yeah, I missed the PGA Championships this week. Sorry to all the Outkick Bets listeners, but I didn't bring my recording gear to Virginia with me, so probably be back with NBA playoff podcast early next week. And that's it. I mean, U.S. Open or the Memorial Tournament. The Memorial Tournament will probably be the next golf podcast that I have, which is in a few weeks. So either way, show me some love. Subscribe, rate, and review.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Check it out. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you guys in a couple days. But until then, something